Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video on the Anfield Road channel. Today I thought we'd be going through sort of the Liverpool squad and what I think we should do to rebuild the squad over the summer. Obviously a disappointing season for us this year, but hopefully next year with some of the signings in this video we can charge for potentially a title race again. Champions League, be competitive in that should we qualify. So yeah, let's get into it. So first, I thought if you look here, we've got sort of our current squad and the players in each positions. As you can see, it's sort of a bit bloated in some areas, not the best quality when you look at other teams. So by looking at it, you can see here, obviously at right back, I think you've got Ramsey, who's young but not quite at the level right now and doesn't get the playing time. Milner, again, who's a midfielder playing at right back and a bit old. And obviously, as I'm recording this, he's, linked with Brighton quite heavily. Gomez, again, who's a centre-back who sort of plays right back, but he doesn't really do either position amazingly. He sort of just fills in. And then obviously Trent, who's more transitioning into that midfield area now. So you look at that, and I think right back's potentially a position we need to look at. Again, if we get rid of Gomez, centre back's looking a bit weak. I think we could do some reinforcements in the midfield areas, both defensively and in that 8 position. So yeah, if we look into this, my outgoings are going to be Ramsey, obviously the right back on loan. I think he needs some more consistent game time to grow, so hopefully we can give him that. Gomez, again, I think like I said, I think he does 2 positions sort of mediocrely, and I think we can get 2 people who can do that position properly. Milner, like I said, probably going to be going anyway. Obviously, we won't get any money for that because he'll be at the end of his contract. Jones, similar to Ramsey, Jones has shown bits of quality, but I think he needs a loan to either a lower Premier League side, like a Bournemouth or someone like that, or maybe a Championship side even. So he can really grow into a player who maybe we can either use or Oxlade-Chamberlain and Naby Keita, pretty much the same thing for both of them, really. Can be quality on their day. Injury prone. Are they really the squad players we should be using to keep up with the Man Cities and now the Arsenals and people like that? I get rid of them. Just not re-sign their contracts, let them go. Carvalho, again, same with some of the other loan players I've put up. I think he's a quality player. Klopp hasn't given him time, so hopefully a loan to either a lower Premier League club or Championship club will help get him that bit of boost of confidence and ability that show he can do it for Liverpool. And for me now, again, personally, I'd obviously re-sign his contract, but he's made it clear already he's leaving at the end of this year, so I've put him there. So obviously with all those outgoings, now you can see sort of the gaps in the squad. I've moved Trent up into that midfield position. They're the wrong way around actually, but I've moved Trent up to that midfield position because that's sort of where he's been playing, or where I think he could play under Klopp next year. But obviously that means we, with all the outgoings out that squad and Trent into midfield, we don't have any right backs. We don't have a 4th choice or a 4th option for centre back. I think ideally we need someone who's left-footed to give balance to that back 4 because we don't have a left footer. I think we need another midfielder who can play more defensively. I think we need 1 or 2 midfielders who can play as an 8 because I think Thiago is very injury prone. Henderson's fallen off a little bit, but I still think we should keep him in the club for because he's the club captain. And I think the front 3 options are fine. Like I said, you've got Salah and Harvey Elliott who can play the right wing. Multiple people who can play down the middle, multiple people who can play out the left. And in a crisis, really, the wingers can do just a good job off the right. So I think that's pretty good. So I'll start off with the right back options. Really, I think we need sort of 1 or 2 of these options to cover. Obviously, in an injury crisis, Trent could still play right back, but so I've gone with Frimpong as my number 1 option. Obviously linked with Manchester United, was linked with Chelsea before, I believe. Obviously Bayer Leverkusen, was raised in England despite playing for Netherlands, so he does have that sort of link to England. he wouldn't cost a lot compared to, you know, other signings in this video, but he would still cost £35 million, so a bit pricey, but I think he'd be worth it. I think he's probably the best of these three options. He's well rounded. He's good going forward, but he's probably better than Trent defensively. And yeah, I think he could be a very good option to sort of come in and grow. Because if you think about it, not a lot of our signings have come in as sort of your top tier. They've sort of come in and grown to that next level. So I think he could do just that. And he's young as well. Next option, Dumfries. Obviously, again, Dutch. Currently at Inter. Could do a deal because obviously he's been linked with Chelsea. Inter need the money, so they'd be happy to, I think, get that 25 million, offload him. He is about 27 though, I believe, so he's a bit more of a, he's not going to really grow that much. And the only thing with Dumfries is, as good a right back as he is, he's quite similar to Trent in the way that he's better going forward than he is defensively. And people, who watch Inter regularly have said he's basically just another version of like a Trent type. So maybe he wouldn't be the best option, but I still put him on the list because, he is a decent right back. And then this guy's sort of a bit of a left field option, and a bit of, I think, would be the backup to these guys. It's Tino Livramento from Southampton, obviously, formerly of Chelsea. I'm not sure if Chelsea have a buyback, which could be the only thing preventing this, but according to Transfer Market, which where I got all these valuations from, he cost about 25 million, same as Dumfries. He's Premier League proven. He's really young, so he can grow. Like I said, Premier League proven, so he doesn't have to adjust to the league, only to Liverpool in the system. Again, I just think he'd be a good option to maybe be a second option or a backup or a deputy to Frimpong or Dumfries and sort of just grow, and then eventually he can become a star himself. So yeah, I think those are some really good options. Moving to the centre back, I think I've got three good options again, and sort of they all vary. You got Ndika, Frankfurt, younger than I thought, to be fair. I thought he was around 26, 27. I was doing research for this. He's 22, so it's obviously a lot younger than I thought. He's free as well, out of contract, so he'd certainly help. With FSG not wanting to spend a lot of money, or not being able to spend a lot of money, it certainly helps that sort of argument. These are all left-footed, by the way, as I said, to give balance. Gvardiol was a bit of a dream signing, 75 million, obviously linked with Chelsea. Realistically, this was probably not going to happen. We can't afford it, and but I just put him in there, as an option. And then Bella Kotcher from Southampton. Obviously, very young. He's shown good parts of the season. Obviously, he struggled with injury a little bit, but again, left-footed, strong, decent, quick pace, recovery pace. And Southampton, obviously, if they're going down, similar to Livramento, then they're going to want to or have to offload some of these players. Obviously, Gvardiol costing the most, Bella Kotcher sort of in the middle. All three good options. As we go to sort of the defensive midfielder options, sort of a backup or an alternative for Fabinho, should we wish to move Fabinho on in the next couple of years. Obviously, we've been linked to sort of all three of these, but mainly the top two. Obviously, you got Nunez from Wolves. First season in the Premier League this year, he's adjusted really well. He's looked really good. But the pricier of the two options, but again, I think you get that Premier League provenness. He's played in the league for a year now. He's looked good in it. So he wouldn't need that adjustment period. All of these three options are young as well. But you got Ugarte from Sporting. Again, 25 million, so him and Florentino are both cheaper than Nunez. We've been linked to him quite heavily. Apparently we're the favourites to sign him. But he's looked very good in that Sporting league. In the Portuguese league for Sporting. He's looked very comfortable. He sort of runs the midfield, would do a good job for us. And then I got Florentino, which is a bit of an outside shout. I almost think Florentino's almost more of an 8 as well. But I think he does the job at defensive midfield. I think, again, he can come in, learn from Fabinho, and sort of maybe take over in the next couple of years. And then more of like the 8 option. So this will be sort of where Thiago or Henderson play. You got McAllister from Brighton. Obviously, as it stands, me recording this video, we've in talks with them. We're sort of negotiating. It looks like it's going to cost around £70 million, potentially 60 with add-ons. Obviously, him and Mount later on this list as well. Sort of naturally tens, but I think under Brighton, and also Mount has done it for England, can play in that 8 and sort of run the game from there. And obviously, because we don't have an attacking midfielder, we have 2 8s. I think they can do a good job. So yeah, McAllister, very good. Link to him, World Cup winner. Obviously done well at Brighton. I'm ready. I think he's ready for that step up. You look at Barella, again under Inter. Obviously, Inter won their league a few years ago, but they're sort of, I know they're Champions League home finalists, but they're sort of, sort of just treading water right now. They're sort of losing a few players. They're sort of, I think it'd be a good time now for Barella to take that step up to, a bigger club. Hopefully it could be for us. I think costing the same amount of McAllister, I think, he's more expensive than Mount, and he might end up being more expensive than McAllister, but I think for that solid 8 who can run the midfield and be, his work rate's good, he can score goals, he can get back to defend, I think he's worth that money. I think we need 2 of these options as well, but yeah, I think Barella's incredible. Obviously, when Italy won the Euros, he was amazing then, so then I think Mount. Now, Mount's obviously Chelsea, him and Chelsea have sort of, got the contract negotiations going on. He wants more money. Chelsea don't really want to give it. He'd potentially be a very good player for us. Obviously, he was very good under Tuchel. He was very good under Lampard. He's been good for England at times, but lately he's not been at it. But I think under a Klopp or under a Pep or under an Arteta or a Ten Hag, someone like that would, I think, really get the best out of him. I think he's very similar to McAllister though. Do you want to sign 2 people who are more attacking midfielders who play deeper? I don't know, but those are the 3 options. So here I've just listed down what I would do personally, but obviously get in the comments and suggest what you would do, if you had the choice. So I've sort of tried to consider budget, money, and sort of realism. So you got Frimpong. Like I said, I think he'd be good starting, £35 million. Decent price. As a backup to him, Livramento, Southampton get relegated. He'll probably want to move to the Premier League. We take him. He learns from Frimpong. They learn together and they sort of build up. Sort of similar to, you look at Tsimikas and Robertson or Man United. You look at Shaw and Malacia, or you look at Delo and Wan-Bissaka. Now Ndika, I've gone as a free agent. I think he's young. He's left-footed. He's very good. He's European proven. And also he's free, which sort of keeps the costs down in this because, let's face it, FSG don't spend that money. Next, I've gone Nunez from Wolves, Premier League proven, heavily linked to him. Yes, he's a bit pricey, but I think, he's worth paying that extra bit. McAllister, around 75 million pounds. Obviously, we're heavily linked to him. We're almost, we're waiting for the Romano. Here we go, really. But I think we're going to get him. I think he could do very, very well for us. And then I've also got Barella. Like I said, we need 2 midfielders in those more advanced positions. Barella's, I think, he's not as similar to McAllister like Mount is. He sort of runs that midfield. He's sort of a perfect Thiago replacement. Should Thiago, getting older, injuries. £70 million, which obviously brings the total to 260 million. But like I said, we move on. We're going to lose a lot of players' wages for free. Joe Gomez, if we sell him, that's around 25-30 million pounds. So a net spend of around sort of 230 million pounds. It's a lot, but I think in a rebuild, FSG need to pay it. So yeah, these are the signings that I'd make. This is how I'd rebuild Liverpool. Get in the comments of how you would rebuild Liverpool. Any suggestions you have, any players I might have missed out on. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all you guys in a bit. Thanks for watching.